Time. Leisure time. Did you ever stop to think how much leisure time you really have? Some of us put our leisure time to good use. And some of us, Ken Michaels, for example, spend most of our leisure time just moping.
Moping? He thinks I'm moping. Well, who wouldn't mope? There's nothing to do, nobody's around. You know how it is. I went down to the bowling alley, went over to the drugstore. None of the gang was there. All my friends are busy, so what's for me to do?
Do you suppose Ken has more leisure time than his friends do?
Huh? Well, no, I don't have more time. We all spend about the same amount of time in school, and the rest is leisure time. I've got nothing to do but wait for supper. My friends have more things to do. They're lucky.
Ken's pretty lucky, too.
Listen to that. All right, I'll bite. Why am I lucky?
Because you have so much leisure time. Time in which you can do things you enjoy. Time in which you don't have to work.
Like this, huh? Is that good?
Let me show you a few things. Suppose you had lived 100 years ago. What would you have been like? Take a look.
Where? Oh, is that me? Is that what I would have looked like 100 years ago?
Well, perhaps. But now, well, let's look back 100 years again and see someone else.
Who? Hey, that's my dad.
Young man, you get off that bed and get to work. After you clean out the stable, you can build some new steps for the back porch. While I work 72 hours a week, no son of mine is going to loaf.
72 hours?
12 hours a day, 6 days a week. Tomorrow morning, young men, you're going out to get a regular job. You can work too, and earn your keep.
Not so good, Ken? Well, let's try another picture. Say about 50 years ago.
Oh, hello, son. Well, say, I've got some new pictures for the stereoscope. We'll look at them tonight. Don't forget about your chores. Have them all done by the time I'm through work. And keep the wood box full.
Boy, how long will you work, Dad?
Why, 10 hours. 10 hours a day, every day except Sunday.
60 hours a week? Boy.
Well, Ken, let's take a look at your father's time as it really is today.
Hi, Dad. You sure don't work as long hours as they used to.
That's right, Ken. It's a wonderful thing to be able to do so much work in so little time. This 40-hour week suits me fine. And some people even work shorter hours nowadays. But by the way, Ken, how would you like to play a quick round of golf before supper? I think we can work it in. And then later I'd like to shellac that new bookcase.
Hi, everyone. Is this volume okay? Hope it's fine. Where is... Okay, it should be alright, whatever. Okay, so today's stream is gonna be relatively short because I think it's a really short story. I want to read it and just end stream. So I want it to be a very short stream. I know, or rather, I'm figuring out what to do with reading streams. I don't quite know what to do yet exactly. I think I want to, obviously I want to do them, but there's a not like an imperfection, but like when I look upon my reading streams and I think, oh, maybe I could like maybe playlist categorize and sort them. I think like, oh, but then the VODs are really long and like there's an unnecessary bit of tangent and discussion that happens before and after each stream, because it's just like, just as I boot up the live stream and I talk about things and say things and I respond to the things they say. And for a lot of them as well, people will say things in between the reading and I address those things. Perhaps they're questions, sometimes it's just banter. And then towards the end as well, I give my thoughts. And then after that, maybe I veer into discussion that's sort of less related. And the tricky thing is I can't just remove all the things that surround the
I keep
reading.
clicking emojis to use emotes.
I'm sorry, but you don't have it anymore. FCF, my condolences. Your emote privileges have been lost. Time. Unfortunate. I hate that that's the case, honestly. I hate that, which is why I made the membership the lowest price I could. This is the lowest price I could make it. If I could make it free, I would, but you know, that's because I want people to use emote. That's all I want. But you're gonna have to make do with the
Hi
regular
everyone.
YouTube
Smiley
emotes,
face.
I guess.
Hi
Maybe.
everyone. Smiley face.
I still haven't fixed him yet. I haven't brought him to the doctor.
Hi maybe.
But anyways, yeah. So the tricky thing with just cutting all the commentary of the reading streams, because I can do that theoretically. I can go to the VODs and edit it down so that it's just the readings. And so that would make for a more coherent playlist, right? The problem with that is I don't know what to cut exactly, because there's like sometimes I give context before a reading, and oftentimes post reading I give my thoughts, and sometimes right in the middle of it I make a note. I go, oh, this is interesting, comment on it. And so those are the things that sort of interrupt the listening experience. But because, you know, taking notes in my head, I'm doing that, I'm verbalizing my notes, but it's also an integral part of the fact that it's not an audiobook stream, it's a reading stream. And the difference is an audiobook is designed for your consumption, designed for you to listen in your car or whatever. I don't know where people listen to audiobooks, because I don't really listen to audiobooks. I think it's a little frustrating for me to try to listen to audiobooks. Because in my head I always go like, this person could read faster. Whatever, if I was reading it, I would read it faster and like have a battle with them. Sometimes I don't like the specific way someone says like a word, because it wasn't exactly the way I saw it in my head. Not a word, but like a sentence, because it wasn't the way I heard it in my head. And then anyways, that's why I don't consume books. But regardless, the point is, that's what distinguishes streams I do from audiobook. That's the whole idea. But I realize that it makes for a not so like it makes for a little bit of a clunky viewing experience.
It's nice.
Very good. There's a tone to the story. So I do want to keep all the commentary, because otherwise it would just be an audiobook. But I want to like keep it. I want all the like. If you're watching it live, it doesn't matter if I trip up or like you're into a conversation area and irrelevant. That's totally okay. But when you are, or when I'm watching, but when you're watching like a VOD, or like, you know, just the afterwards, right, of the thing, you kind of want to just skip the, hey, how's everyone's day doing, if you want to listen to the reading portion of the stream, I think. And in addition, right, I think there's a
Hello_cheer heart. Dazai is one of my favorite authors, so I'm looking forward to this reading.
Hi Victor, that's good that you're looking forward to it. I'm just gonna do a little bit of housekeeping and then right into it. It's a short story, right?
Hello_cheer heart.
Don't read it
Dazai
again,
is one of my
motherfucker.
favorite
Shut up.
authors,
Shut up.
so I'm looking forward to this reading.
God damn. All right, whatever. Okay. So, what was I saying? Hell was I saying? Oh yes. Some housekeeping, right? The other thing is, my content between my reading streams is kind of separated from, like, it feels quite different from when I'm like I don't know, playing Volcano Princess. I think putting those two things in the same channel works for me because, you know, I'm me. But I think what I could leverage and utilize is the fact that my videos tab is kind of empty. You know, I think I could utilize that, combined with the fact that oftentimes live streams or for reading streams, people don't usually have that many questions. And if they do, it's like, I could just respond to it as like, if they could just write a comment, post like on the video, and then I could just reply to it through text. And when we're dealing with textual analyses, that extra bit of time I get to clarify the answer and look things up just to make sure I'm not bullshitting too much in like a response I give, I think can be beneficial. All this to say, my idea going forward with reading streams, and I'm sorry I haven't done them in a very long time. What is my audio cut away? Oh god, sorry. Alright, I think it's because my audio gain is like, I lowered my gain a bit, being a lot louder in the other stream, and now that I'm being softer, I have to, which is like, you know, sorry for that. Please, thank you for reminding me. Tell me whenever there's an audio, because I can't hear it. I have to rely on you to just tell me something's wrong with the audio. That's even worse? What? There's no way it's even worse. I put it in the wrong direction. Sorry, I put it in the wrong direction. That's my bad. That's I can't remember for the life of me which side of my gain slider is like more gain and which side is less, because it's a knob. It's not a slider, it's a knob. Oh god, it's so stupid. I'm sorry. Sorry, now it should be better. Now it should be better. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so I think in the future what I will do is I will probably stop doing reading streams, because I think it would be better if I just did reading videos and just put them up. So that way there's no fluff in them and you can kind of consume them as a different thing, maybe than like a live stream where I play a video game. Because I do, at the end of the day, I'll do both of those things, but one is more important than the other. It's nice to have both, but one is more important than the other. So that's the idea, is I probably won't stream reading as much, if at all, because all the reasons I could do it are all the ways one could enjoy it.
No more Charis Euphranor tells you a story till you fall asleep live ASMR_chair no way.
Well, you can minus, I don't know what you're talking. Okay. It's still like, you can still just play the video and listen to me read the text. You can still do that. It's still there. Like this. So what I will do is I will keep the discuss. I will discuss it at the end. What I will do is like, I will read something, and then at the end of it, I will give my thoughts, or in the middle of it, I'll give my thoughts. And at the beginning, I will like contextualize it. Maybe I will. I don't know. I missed the live discussions. There hasn't, but like the thing is that in my head, I'm trying to recall, or at least, right? There hasn't been that many of them. I don't know. Because the other thing I could do, here's the other thing, right? The other thing I could do is I could do the reading streams anyways, and then I cut it down, I edit it, and I very carefully segment portions of my like stream. I edit it down and then post them as videos as well. I could do that instead. Now, if I do that, now you get both things, right? But I feel like what that does is it also tanks my like YouTube's conception of what I'm doing, because then there will be a good amount of people that will click one thing and not the other. And YouTube will think that, oh, okay, like you are making very polarizing content. That's not for everyone. We're like, and that's not good for me. But like I could do that. It's just because like I stream, because it will all be be on the same channel. I don't know. So either way, I'm gonna start doing more videos. It's just the question of whether or not I pre-record them and I just read them, or I do like a stream and I do one or the other. Because if I do a stream, I can just like, it's both a stream and then I can edit the stream down. But when people do stream edits, it's usually like because they have a stream on Twitch and then they bring the VOD over to YouTube and that's why they edit it down. They don't upload the VOD on a channel. And also the edits, right? Like it's kept separate. They have separate entities because it fucks up your analytics if you do both on the same channel, I think. So I don't know. I have no clue what to do. I feel like I'm a bit of a crossroads. And kind of because of that, I've stopped. I haven't read things in like a month. I have not done any reading in like on stream at least. Obviously off stream, I've been reading a bunch of shit, but like on stream, I haven't done much reading. It's troubling. It's troubling. I don't know what to do.
He hates his students. L teacher tired face.
And also it makes it easier for people just visiting my channel to like find readings if that's what they want, because that will just be on videos. And that's why like my Kafka metamorphosis thing has
Hi
many
everyone.
more views.
You're all awesome and fantastic.
Hi Keg. Welcome. That's why my like Kafka metamorphosis like has a lot more streams than like has a lot more views than my other reading streams. I feel like it's partially because of the pre-recorded nature of it that makes it more accessible and approachable to people. Funny how you can't possibly chronologically edit your streams because after a few you'd hit a fucking massive wall Elden Ring. I hate editing already. I extra hate editing myself. I could, and if I could bear that hate and I could still go in and do it, my Elden Ring VODs would stop me. Yeah. They're not great. Like, there's so many technical issues in it. It keeps going dun all the time. And my gameplay is not very good because the entire DLC I just spam L1 on Blasphemous Blade, or L2, I think, I forget which one. Maybe do the live and then have edited videos of the VODs for readings. That's what I was thinking, yeah. But the problem with that is YouTube then, like, it's the reason why people have a VOD channel and they have like a stream edit channel, right? And they separate them instead of having both of them on the same channel. Because that confuses YouTube analytics. If you want to, because most likely you're not gonna watch the VOD, you're not gonna watch the stream and then watch the video. You're not gonna watch both. It's gonna be one or the other. We're gonna watch the live version or you're gonna watch the post-live edited version. You are not going, like, you are for sure not watching both. And YouTube sees that as like, okay, people are for sure not watching it, like, relatively speaking, right? Like, that creates an even bigger subdivision among people who subscribe to the channel to watch stuff. And because of how shitty, like, the algorithmic things are, like, that will stunt my channel development even more than, like, my -1 subscribers from yesterday to today. Like, I think I was at 581 yesterday in the past few days, and then today I'm at 580 now. Someone left. Someone didn't like the shit at all, which is fair enough because I keep telling people to leave. It's like me when I tell someone to leave and they actually leave. Surprised Pikachu face, right? Like so. All I'm saying is, like, the main big reason is I can't bear to tank my numbers anymore. Like, there comes a limit to the starving artist, and right now I'm kind of at that limit. I'm done kind of trying to convey my artistic message. It's time to shill things. It's time to It's time to yeah, it's time to do whatever the masses want. It's time to bend the knee to capitalism. That's what it's. We're currently at that state in the Charis Euphranor arc. People 1K is a milestone to see if you can recruit an editor. I just don't think it would bring YouTube would bring me enough money to justify the amount of money I would need to pay an editor to do all that work for me. Because editing, I think, recruiting an editor that knows, like, that has a good style of editing for me, but also like has a sense of what to do, but also will have to watch all my shit, is gonna be not something I can afford with the amount of money I can like generate from YouTube. I remember when he realizes his words have weight and actions have consequences. I know, right? It's terrible. I didn't think they would. Oh. You mean like people actually went, okay, yeah, I guess this guy makes a lot of sense. I don't really watch him, so I should just leave. And then they left. Fucked up. Why would you do that? Even though I told you explicitly probably 10, 20 times by now, because I will never shut up about I've never shut up about this. I need to shut the fuck up about this. I keep talking about it. I shouldn't. It's not content. It's an Ouroboros snake of like filth. That's like, it's not getting to the meat of life, isn't it? But I keep saying it. I keep talking about things that are irrelevant and inconsequential, and it's because I'm only human after all, and those things bear, they have a bearing in my head. Anyways. You see the dad Charis Euphranor? It was cute. I did see it. Victor keeps cooking. Victor keeps cooking. How does he keep cooking? Like how? It's so good. Yeah, I saw it. It's incredible. I haven't put it up on the wall yet because I haven't had time to. I'll do that for next stream. Fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, you're here, Victor. It was really nice. I don't know what else to say other than like it's so good. That made me want to play Volcano Princess this week. I was gonna like maybe do it like next week or whatever. I wasn't really like thinking too much into like third like stream for Volcano Princess that much, but then I saw that and I was like, I have to do a third stream this week. I must do it now. And if I do you mind if I use your... I already asked you and you said yes, but I want to let you know again. If I do another Volcano Princess stream this week, I have to plan everything out, I'm sorry. Promised to schedule, didn't deliver. It is what it is. Welcome to Charis Euphranor. If I do another, or when I do the next Volcano Princess stream, I'm for sure using the art as like a thumbnail. It's so good. So good. I'm gonna look at it again. Open up my Discord. What did you send in general? Y'all think we get chairman to discuss this piece of modern philosophy or not? We unlocked the ancient Greek meta today. So you... Okay. Alright. That is how the Greeks thought, yeah. That is... Yeah. Let me just look... Sorry, let me just go on the art channel, which is the only one I'm going to be visiting now. That's cool. Which one should I use for the thumbnail? What do you think? What do you think, Victor? I'm thinking like the one on the bottom. That's probably what I'll do, yeah. If anything happens to Autumn, I'm unsubscribing. Me too. Me too. Dads who are girl dads are like my favorite subgenre of parent. It's pretty cool to see. It's one of the few, I think. And I get, you know, yeah, it could be just he could just be doing it as a social media stunt. It's just his brand. It's just his branding of it because he's a celebrity, whatever. But it's pretty like the one thing I will respect Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson a lot for is like showing off how he hangs out with his daughter and, you know, plays Tea Party with her. That's awesome. Like, that's fucking dope. That I have a lot of respect for The Rock for. My mom's come with toxic implications for girl dads or just dads who love their daughters. Yeah, boy moms have, like, it's a weird phenomenon. It's a weird phenomenon to think about. You can read into it. There's like a lot of. I'm sure you already have.
My dad was a lot like that, and I'm not very close with him as an adult, but as a little kid we were inseparable. LOL.
That's good then. I mean, well, I guess, however way that went. Favorite parent subgenre is Jesse. Like from Team Rocket? If so, then yeah, like I get it. I get it. I get the Jesse James dynamic. Like that, I feel it. Breaking Bad. Oh. Oh. Yo, Mr. White. Lee is my favorite girl dad. I think that's like objectively like the most correct answer you can give. I think that's like the most correct answer to this question. I cannot think of a more correct answer to this question prompt than Lee. Yeah, you're right. He's very prime girl dad. Or Dojima? Who's Dojima? I don't think I remember. I don't think I know who that is. Nautical Zen part 4. P4. Persona 4, not part 4. Interesting. Anyways, what were you talking about? What was I talking about? What was I trying to say before I got like just totally yeah. So I just think in the future, what I'll do is I'll do video uploads instead. So say goodbye to live discussions for text. I also think that it's one of those things where, because of the experience of it as text, discussions taking place in a comment section through text over an exchange that is not immediate and requires, you know, some time to meditate on what you've read before typing what the hell you thought, if at all you do that, is a better environment for discussion than one that's like, here's the live arena, speak now, right? Especially when you are someone who's just read or listened to me read the text for the first time and immediately go like, okay, what are my thoughts? And I think that's what schools encourage sometimes. It's like, you know, you're done with the thing. Okay, now give your opinion now. Give the objectively best essay answer analysis for what the themes are, and then because of that, students are pressured to, oh, I need to come up with it next lesson. I gotta come up with it now, and it's gotta be the perfect answer. I gotta go on SparkNotes. I gotta go listen to these video essays. I have to hear what smarter people think so I can sound smart and not stupid, so I don't look stupid, and also then I pass my exams and I don't get screwed over. And that is that. Not only is that not nurturing this spirit you should have towards reading, where you just read the text. It's not about how fast you read it, it's just about how much that you let the text melt into your soul, and like leave its impression on you. Not only are you not doing that, not only is that not being like nourished, it is, you are instead, what is happening is you're being encouraged and you are being like cultivated to become this like essay machine, this like text machine, where you have to like just say that you get the text and then immediately say why you get the text and why it's good or why it's bad, whatever the correct opinion is. And like, it's terrible. It's more insidious than just, oh, people are not learning to read. They're learning how to not read. It's not just they are not learning to read. It's also that they are learning to not read. And those may sound like the same sentence. I just swapped the words over, but no, I want to stress the very important distinction here. Is it manifests itself very poorly. And that's like, that's something I really concern myself with. It's one of the reasons why it's one of the reasons why I do this. It's one of the reasons why I even bother doing a fucking reading stream. One of the reasons why, because I didn't want it to just be like an audiobook and this, it's just like a text, but like it's text to speech. It's like, no, I want to give you the experience. I want to demonstrate the experience and like the way not how one should read text, because I think that's, then you lead to like, okay, everyone should be just like this, and then we should all be the exact same carbon copy optimal reader. No. It's just like, I want to show you how I let the intricate fabric of story, narrative, text, literature, philosophy, all these things leave their impression on me and my soul as a human being. Not in like the, okay, do this now, copy what I'm doing, but please let my ability or my demonstration of how I let things impress on me perhaps push you, hopefully, in a direction where you want to let things impress on you as well. Not because of some external objective, like, okay, you are the best reader or you are the best student if you do that. Like, not for that. Not for any other purpose than you just want it for yourself, for your soul. Like, that is what I want to do. And I think that can still be done through video. It doesn't have to be a live stream. I think the original intent was I wanted to do it through live stream because, like, I wanted to show that this shit is all like right there in front of you, and like I'm doing all of it live. Like, it's not a pre-edited, pre-recorded thing. So that there's an immediate sort of impression between you as the viewer and me as the person, like, reading the text. But at the same time, what that does is, like, because not everyone can watch it in live time, I think it's worse for people who tune into VODs later. Because then they have to, like, slog through text. Me saying shit. It's almost been 30 minutes. Well, it's like 35 minutes right now. I haven't started reading yet. It's a short read, so I'm not too pressed with time, but yeah. I'd read this before, but it wasn't audio, so I probably fucked up a few times. I want to learn more about dyslexia. I don't know anything about it. Fortunately, I don't have it. Never had to deal with it. But also, like, none of my friends had to deal with it as well. None of my peers, I think, as far as I'm concerned, were dyslexic. And I think because of my very fortunate circumstances, I was able to be put into institutions where the people there are usually people that excel and oftentimes it's because they don't have more, like, so many inhibitions in their ability to read and process text. So that has resulted in me not knowing what the fuck it's like at all to be dyslexic. I have no clue. But if you're saying that it helps for me to read it out to you, then you give me the reason to do it. Like if you, like if it wasn't for the whole thing, the whole spiel I went on a little earlier, like just now, if it weren't for that,
Face purple
that would
crying.
be the reason why I would read it. I would do reading streams. It's for people who do find that it's helpful, right? My teacher used to say she will teach how to read, not how to comprehend. That is up to the individual. I think your teacher is cooking, half cooking. So I think she's right in saying that.
I also cannot be bothered to read anything if I don't feel like it.
Yes, and you know what? Me too, which is why I do these things. So I compel myself to read. I make myself read by doing these. It's good for both of us. Isn't this wonderful? Isn't this fantastic? It's beautiful. And then nobody cares because I'm like, it's not like I'm yelling at a video game and it's not as entertaining. Whatever, it is what it is. Okay, it's okay. It's an acquired taste. And I'm very patient. Read so fast, but also have difficulty absorbing info unless I take my time. I sometimes fall into that trap too when I'm reading out loud. Sorry, when I'm reading, and now that I've slowly delved into autopilot for reading as well, for reading out loud as well. So sometimes when I do, not reading streams, but like, yeah, reading streams, I guess, sorry. When I do reading streams, I also just start reading the text out loud, but I'm not processing it in my head, which is bad. Like, that's not a good habit to form. I have to be very conscious. But also because of that, I don't have to stream maybe at an awkward hour and read at an awkward hour where I will be tired and fatigued. I can record and read in the prime time of my day, and then, you know, that way it doesn't compromise on my ability to parse through the text, right? Sorry, anyways, returning to the comment. Maybe you said earlier, a teacher used to say she will teach how to read, not how to comprehend. That is up to the individual. That's kind of true, but not in the sense that, like, I think, and I have I have weird ideas in education because I've read too much into the philosophy of this, so bear with me here. There's a distinction to be made between teaching and educating. You cannot teach someone. You can teach people how. You can teach students. You can teach pupils how to read, but you cannot teach them how to comprehend. That's true. You just can't, like, that is up to the individual in some sense. It's like a, you know, there is a big part of it that is up to the individual, but you can educate them to read. That can be an educational goal. Now, what does it mean that you can't teach it, but one can be educated to do that? What does that mean? Where's the distinction? I don't have time to get into that today. I don't. All I have to say is that it has something to do with the subjective experience of comprehension and of getting it and of stepping into that frame of mind and, like, being able to be there in the presence of the thing. And like, you can't forcefully drag someone there in the way you teach someone something. Like, you embed, like, a memory or a skill in them or a technique, but all you can do is invite them to it, and they have to step over. That's the movement I'm alluding to it. I'm such a mood reader. One moment I'm finishing one book after another, and then it'll take me months to finish it. I'm just like, I think that's still better than, like, a lazy reader, because I'm lazy. Like, I will not read. I got so good at reading because I had nothing else to do for a very long time. I got really good at reading, and because I got really good at reading, because it was something I was compelled to do it for school, you know, because and this is like, oh, this is work now. It became not fun anymore. And the moment it became not fun, I became relentlessly better. I became a lot better at it because it was life or death now. It was survival, right? That was to excel, and to my upward mobility depended on my ability to read. Okay, I'm gonna stay on the grind. I'm gonna do this shit. But what that did was it also sapped the joy of reading away from me. So the trade-off was like I became a much stronger, like a much better reader, but I hated reading. So if it was not like school assigned, I would just not do it. I would just not do a reading if it wasn't school assigned. And that's bad. But if it was school assigned, I will do it, and I will do it well. And I will do it in a way that is very comprehensive and very thorough. But if it's not, I'm like, fuck it, I'm not doing more work. You know, I don't have it in me to do more work. I'm going to play video games instead because, you know, that shit's fun. I want to play Portal 2. And that's true, but, you know, I'd over the years, I'd lost my passion for reading as I traded it for my skill. Not dyslexic, but I oftentimes read the same paragraph over and over, or actually skip sentences. I don't usually do that, but I did that on occasion. And part of the reason why I really enjoy doing reading streams, even though they're not very popular, is because it allows me to hone that skill. Like, you can tell probably from my
start. I don't want to fall asleep before you even start.
Okay, I'll start in just a moment. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'll start in just a moment. But like
Hello.
You can tell from the older streams versus the newer ones how much better I got at reading things out loud. And I stopped going like, oh, sorry, I just read the same sentence, the same line again, and I forgot to go to the next. Like, I stopped, or rather, that happened a lot less. And I really got into it. Which is good. Like, I got one, if anything, you know, even if my Google verification still can't fucking work and I can't get a fucking single cent or $1 off of my like YouTube revenue still, it's so fun. Even if I get no clout, no connections, no nothing in my whole year of streaming, at least I got better at reading out loud, which is fucking cool. That's one thing that this has helped me with, and that's awesome. That's more than I could. No more education. I have exams next week. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck with that. Hi, Mari. Hello, Annalise. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. I'm just about to read. It's a short story, and then I'll fuck off. That's what I'll do. School sucks the passion out of so many things. Yeah, it's really good at that. I don't
Glad I finished exams just in time to enjoy stream. Brain is fried though.
Hi, Leo. Hope you feel better. Congratulations on finishing exams. Hope you do well. Well, you're not gonna like this stream because it's just more
10
reading.
years ago it would have been done 3 days after he lent it to me.
10 years ago it would have been done 3 days after he lent it to me. Oh, your brother gave me Stephen King's It to read, and I got maybe 2 chapters through. More than 1,000 pages. I don't know though. I don't mind taking it slow. It is exam season, isn't it? This is exam season for people. I get it. My final projects as well while watching. Good luck with that. I hope I don't distract you too much. If I take books too slow, I forget the contents. Fair enough. Just depends on person to person, I think. For me, it's like I can take it slow because, well, not too slow though. Like I can read it slowly as long as I'm reading it consistently. If I'm reading it like slow, can be
Good
like
luck
the
on
pace
exams,
I make.
kidlings. You got this.
But if I like just make some progress and then have a break for like 3 months, I'll totally forget it. So I need to, as long as it's consistent, I can read slowly. Mario have exams as well too. Yeah, it is exam season, huh? Everyone's got to. Well, I'll be streaming anyways. Cause I'm done with my shit. I don't have to do it anymore. I'm 60 years old, okay? I don't have to do exams anymore. I'm 60. I'm too busy. Guess I'll catch him starting the book in like an hour. I'll start it right now. Okay, I'm starting it very soon.
I've been trying to finish A Little Life since last year.
Little Life. I heard that was good. I haven't read Little Life, but I heard it was good.
I'm probs gonna nap during stream and then read afterwards.
Yeah, do whatever you want. But, you know, just know that I'm here to read.
I read it when I was like 12 years old. I can't believe I had enough focus to get through it at that age. Also, that book had some scenes that I should not have been reading at that age.
Oh yeah, I was just about to say, like, I didn't read it, and at first, like, when I went to watch the movie with some friends, like, we were talking about it, and my friend said, like, read the book. So I was like, oh, don't spoil it. Oh, but I do wish I read the book. I wish I'd read the book so I can go into the movie knowing what happened to the book. And seeing how they adapt it, right? Sorry, I just burped. I hope you didn't hear that. I just burped for my dinner. I was like, oh, please, like, don't spoil anything for me. I can't wait to just see what the movie has. Watch the movie, I was like, oh, it's okay. And then, like, towards the end, the thing with the kid circle, the what was it, the cool kids club? What was it, what the hell, the losers club? Yeah. I was like, oh, it was kind of like weird. What's up with that? And then my friend went like, thank God. Oh, I was like, what do you mean, thank God? They were like, yeah, they didn't have the those scenes. And I was like, what do you mean those scenes? And then they explained it. I was like, oh fuck. He wrote what? Steven wrote what in his books? Why? Aren't these children's books? What the fuck? Not spoil it for me at this point. Reading it for the love of the game. You're gonna read it for the love of the game. I mean, like, you can, but what was it? It was the scenes with where it was like it was the orgy. Okay, that's what I was like alluding to. Between the fucking children. Yeah. Allegedly, he wrote it under the influence and it shows. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. That would be, like, more justification. I'd, like, you know, that would be less disastrous than if he wrote it sober. As I decide to start law school or grad school or whatever, I'll never have to do exams again. Well, maybe you do decide to start law school or grad school or whatever. You never know. It's never too late for that. Listened to the audiobooks, but I only got through a third because I had to take a break between because of the scenes from it. I didn't like it very much. Like, I watched it, but like, I wasn't a big fan of horror in the first place. So anyways, sorry. That's enough talking about that.
I think the reasoning was so they all lost innocence or whatever, and it defends them from the monster who preys on kids, but still.
Yeah, it's like, losing the innocence and it defends them from the there are many more ways that could be conveyed than through what happened. Alright, okay. I'm gonna start reading now. I'm gonna put Parrot away. He's gone now. Goodbye. Nobody likes you, Parrot. And I'm gonna pull the text up. Mm, 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 mm. Hmm. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Biggest morning parrot. He was being annoying. He wasn't even helpful. All right. So, is there a way to? There we are. Can I rant about this for a second? Can you see the thing on the left? You can't. Let me show you the thing on. See what it says there on the left? The fly. Hold on. Fuck. God damn it. Sorry. Whatever. What's going on, man? What the hell's going on? The house. Okay. You see the thing on that's on the left? AI enhanced title. What the fuck does AI enhanced title mean? It's the story of a pet dog. What the fuck is enhanced? Parrot is a valuable member of society. Show some respect. He is a bum, and he doesn't need to be here. Anyone that likes high fantasy but wants something a bit more recent, I would recommend the Witcher book. Maybe I could read the Witcher books for stream too. Yeah, my art dinner. Yeah, it's like, it's fucking, I don't know what it is, but look, I'm looking for free PDFs for books, okay? Like, I'm not very indignant about it. I sail the high seas for this. It is what it is. You're gonna have to forgive me. That's one thing that's like, in 10 years, maybe, or like however long, if I were to get like canceled, maybe not canceled, I don't think I would get canceled. Maybe I would. Maybe things age for it. But like if I get into trouble, it's probably going to be because I openly endorse and demonstrate and like speak very proudly of pirating books and not actually buying them, which is not good and not legal, but you have to understand I'm broke as hell. And all my shit is either pirated or I leech off of my friends who can afford a subscription service, okay? It is what it is. It is what it is. That's what happens when you have a philosophy degree and you aren't good enough to write books, so you can't make it through academia and like publish manuscripts or like articles. This together? Yeah, we are. So like in the future, if I get into trouble for anything, it's because I'll be like, I don't know, I just pirated the movie, or like I just pirated the TV show I was watching. I went on a website. I went on r/piracy on Reddit, and I clicked on the mega thread, and I found the first link that took me to a streaming site, and I just watched it there. I'm sorry, I do that, and that's how I consume most of my media. Sometimes I'll buy a ticket to the cinema, but you have to understand we live in different socioeconomic circumstances in the 21st century, in the big 2025. Without further ado, the story of a dog. So normally I give some context before reading. And then I dive into an analysis afterwards. I think for this one, for shorter stories and for some things like this one, and it's just my gut instinct. I don't really know why. I haven't really thought why, but I will not do that for this. I will just jump right into reading it. And then afterwards, maybe I'll look up the context. Does that make sense? Hope that makes sense. Okay. The story of a pet dog. Here we are. The Story of a Pet Dog by Osamu Dazai. Osamu Dazai. Translated by Shelley Marshall. The Story of a Pet Dog, as presented to Harube Ima. Fuck. God damn it. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. Sorry. I'm a little angry right now. That's fine. I'm gonna keep it to myself. I have confidence with dogs. I'm confident that someday one will bite me. I will be bitten. In that I'm confident. Very well. Until today, I have lived unharmed and never been bitten. But I have a queer inkling. My friends, dogs are beasts. Don't they bring down horses and, on occasion, fight and vanquish lions? I may well be alone in subscribing to this, but look at the sharp fangs of a dog. They are not insignificant. When on the streets a dog plays innocent, humbles itself like it's unworthy of attention, loops around garbage cans, but is essentially a savage beast, capable of bringing down a horse. You never know when its savage anger will burst out. The dog must always be chained and tied up. The slightest carelessness is not allowed. Many pet owners in this world care for terrifying beasts, for the sole reason that they give the beasts a few leftover scraps every day. They have complete trust in Supper, supper, they happily chime and approach the beast like it's a member of the family. They turn it into our dear 3-year-old baby. They tug on the beast's ears and have a big laugh. I shudder and must close my eyes to that sight. I worry about what to do if without warning it barked and bit me. I have to be careful. A beast that even the owner would have difficulty proving would not bite roams free and loiters on the roads. As an owner, saying that he absolutely doesn't bite is nothing more than a stupid, kind-hearted superstition. Even those horrifying fangs, he will bite. Saying that the beast would never ever bite cannot be proven scientifically. What kind of person is that? In late autumn of last year, maybe I should download this. Maybe I should download it. Maybe I should just fucking download it instead. Maybe I should just... Oh my god, I have to sign up to download it. Fuck you. Ooh. Oh, I'm annoyed. Oh, I'm pissed off. Okay. Let's calm ourselves. This is a terrible viewing experience that I apologize for. In late autumn of last year, at last. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is why I'm gonna do reading streams from now on, recorded. In late autumn of last year, at last, a friend of mine received this injury. He was a tragic victim, according to my friend's story. He was doing nothing as he strolled down an alley with his arms folded in his kimono. There was a dog sitting on the road. My friend was doing nothing as he passed near the dog. At that moment, the dog cast an evil sidelong glance at him. He passed without incident, then the dog barked and bit him on the right leg. This was a calamity. It happened in a flash. My friend was stunned. Tears of regret boiled over. I wasn't surprised. I was convinced of his utter loneliness. If so, was there something to do? My friend dragged his throbbing leg to the hospital for treatment. He visited the hospital for the next 21 days, 3 weeks. Although the wound on his leg healed, he had to get shots because of concerns about the possibility of his body being invaded by the venom of the detestable disease of rabies. Nothing came of negotiations with the owner due to my friend's timidity. He unflinchingly endured his misfortune and only sighed. In addition, if the shots, they were not cheap. Excuse me for saying, but my friend didn't have those kinds of reserves. I have no doubt that all of it was painfully managed. This was a calamity, a catastrophe. If he carelessly neglected to get those shots, he would suffer the ghastly disease of rabies. There would be the fever and the anguish. Eventually, he would come to resemble a dog, crawling around on all fours, barking like. Okay. PDF for like was this? No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna continue this. It's fine. Sorry. As he received the shots, what kind of anxiety and uncertainty did my friend feel? Because he is a man with troubles and an able man of the world, he conscientiously went to the hospital every day for 3 weeks, 21 days to receive his shots. He's alive and healthy and working. But if it had been me, that dog would not be alive. Because I'm a man with 3 or 4 times the spirit of revenge of a normal man, and a man who would unleash 5 or 6 times the brutality of the average man. Instantly, that dog's skull would be pulverized, its eyes gouged out, smashed and spit out. And that would not be enough. I would poison each and every dog in the neighborhood. While I haven't done anything, the rudeness of a sudden bark and a bite would produce violent action. It is difficult to forgive the beast in any way. People cannot indulge this behavior because of the inconvenience to them. The punishment should be severe and with no mercy. Last autumn, when I heard about my friend's misfortune, my daily hatred toward dogs reached its peak. My brooding hatred blazed. Hold on, what if I just... No, I couldn't do that. Never mind. Yeah, you know what? Post it in general. Thank you. I'm gonna do that. Excuse me. Fuck. Alright. I'm so sorry. Thank you, Victor. Let's just pretend the stream started now. Can we just pretend like the stream started just now? We're right like an hour into it, right? Let's just pretend that the stream starts now. Let's just forget that the stream started earlier today. It didn't happen. Fuck. Alright, okay. The story of a pet dog as told to Harube Ima by Osamu Dazai. I have confidence with dogs. I'm confident that someday one will bite me. I will be bitten. In that I'm very confident. Very well, until today I've lived unharmed and never been bitten, but I have a queer inkling. My friends, dogs are beasts. Don't they bring down horses and, on occasion, fight and vanquish lions? I may well be alone in subscribing to this, but look at the sharp fangs of a dog. They are not insignificant. When on the streets, a dog plays innocent, humbles itself like it's unworthy of attention. snoops around garbage cans, but is essentially a savage beast capable of bringing down a horse. You never know when its savage anger will burst out. A dog must always be chained and tied up. The slightest carelessness is not allowed. Many pet owners in this world care for terrifying beasts, for the sole reason that they give the beast a few leftover scraps every day. They have complete trust in the beast. Supper, supper, they happily chime and approach the beast like it's a member of the family. They turn it into our dear 3-year-old baby. They tug on the beast's ears and have a big laugh. I shudder and must close my eyes. I worry about what to do if, without warning, it barked and bit me. I have to be careful. A beast that even the owner would have difficulty proving would not bite, roams free and loiters on the roads. As an owner, saying that he absolutely doesn't bite is nothing more than a stupid, kind-hearted superstition. Given these horrifying fangs, he will bite. Saying that the beast would never ever bite cannot be scientifically proven. What kind of person is that? The late autumn of last year, at last, a friend of mine received his injury. He was a tragic victim. According to my friend's story, he was doing nothing as he strolled down an alley with his arms folded in his kimono. There was a dog sitting in the road. My friend was doing nothing as he passed near the dog. At that moment, the dog cast an evil sidelong glance at him. He passed without incident. Then the dog barked and bit at him on the right leg. This was a calamity. It happened in a flash. My friend was stunned. Tears of regret boiled over. I wasn't surprised. I was convinced of his utter loneliness. If so, was there something to do? My friend dragged his throbbing leg to the hospital for treatment. He visited the hospital for the next 21 days, 3 weeks. Although the wound on his leg healed, he had to get shots because of concerns about the possibility of his body being invaded by the venom of the detestable disease of rabies. Nothing came of negotiations with the owner due to my friend's timidity. He unflinchingly endured his misfortune and they only sighed. In addition, the shots were not cheap, excuse me for saying, but my friend did not have those kinds of nerves. I have no doubt that all of it was painfully managed. This was a calamity, a catastrophe. If he carelessly neglected to get those shots, he would suffer the ghastly disease of rabies. There would be the fever and the anguish. Eventually, he would come to resemble a dog, crawling around on all fours and barking like a dog. As he received the shots, what kind of anxiety and uncertainty did my friend feel? Because he is a man with troubles and an able man of the world, he conscientiously went to the hospital every day for 3 weeks, 21 days to receive his shots. He's healthy and working, but if it had been me, that dog would not be alive. Because I'm a man with 3 or 4 times the spirit of revenge of a normal man, and a man who would unleash 5 or 6 times the brutality of the average man, instantly the dog's skull would be pulverized, eyes gouged out, smashed and spit out. And that would not be enough. I would poison each and every dog in the neighborhood. While I haven't done anything, the rudeness of a sudden bark and bite would produce violent action. It is difficult to forgive the beast in any way. People cannot indulge this behavior because of the inconvenience to the beast. The punishment should be severe and with no mercy. Last autumn, when I heard about my friend's misfortune, my daily hatred towards dogs reached its peak. My brooding hatred blazed like a blue flame. For the new year, I rented a thatched hut called an 831 tatami on the outskirts of the town of Kofu in Yamanashi Prefecture, to quietly live and busily write a bad novel. However, no matter where you went in this town of Kofu, there were dogs. Hordes of dogs loitered or stretched out or raced around or barked bearing their fangs on the roads. Even in the tiniest vacant lot, like a den for stray dogs, they were preoccupied with play fighting and wild wrestling. On the deserted streets at night, large packs formed like night prowlers, and raced around every which way. Their number was so large, you would think that each and every house in Kofu had at least 2 dogs. Originally, Yamanishi Prefecture was known as the home of a valuable breed of dog. However, the kind of dogs seen on the streets were never those purebreds. Most of them were shaggy red dogs. They were only unadoptable, silly mutts. I have always resented dogs. But since my friend's misfortune, my feelings of hatred heightened, and I was ever vigilant. These swarms of dogs without a care ran rampant in alleys everywhere, or were coiled up napping. I was truly pained. If possible, I had the notion of walking the streets wearing leggings, arm guards, and a helmet. That would have been a strange sight, but was not allowed from the perspective of public morals, so I adopted other means. I brooded over a plan. First, I researched dog psychology. I also know a little about people. From time to time, I could make the correct designation, but dog psychology is complicated. Human words are useful in the emotional exchange between dogs and people, but are the source of the initial uncertainty. If words are not useful, there is nothing other than mutual play and reading expression. The motion of the tail is critical. However, watching this tail motion is complex and not easily read. I despaired. Then I devised an inept, clumsy measure. It was a pitiful, desperate measure. I crossed paths with a dog. A smile would cover my face, and I would not display the least bit of hostility, because they might not see my smile at night. I made the effort to innocently hum a nursery rhyme to announce that I'm a kind man. This had some effect. No dogs have leapt at me yet. However, letting my guard down was taboo, and passing a dog, no matter how scared I was, I never ran. While my broad, humble, toadying smile rose, I instantly turned my head and very slowly felt a nearly suffocating chill in my mind, like 10 hairy caterpillars crawling down my back. Slowly passed by. I was revolted by my fawning behavior. I remembered so much self-loathing I wanted to cry. I felt that if I didn't do this, I would instantly be bitten. Thus every dog was met with an attempt at a pitiful greeting. If my hair grew a little too long, they may bark at me as some suspicious man. That would be bad, so I never skipped a trip to the barber shop. If I walked around with a walking stick, a dog would mistake it for a threatening weapon and its rebellious spirit would be inflamed. Therefore, I threw it away forever. Evaluating a dog's psychology is hit and miss, and as I humored these dogs, an unforeseen phenomenon was revealed. Sadly, dogs liked me. They followed me with tails wagging. I would stamp my feet in frustration. It was ironic. My unpleasant thoughts of the past have recently reached the apex of hate. If it's dogs that like me, I'd rather be adored by camels. Shallow assumption. This feeling differs from the horror felt when liked by an ugly woman. Pride and selfishness do not allow that. I can't bear it. I hate dogs. I soon perceive the ferocity of its rage and have unpleasant thoughts. At most once or twice a day, leftovers would not be shared. He would sell out his friends separate from his wife and lay down under the eaves of the house. He would put on a loyal face and bark at former friends, completely forgetting about his siblings and fervently gauge his master's mood and flatter with no shame. If hit, he put his tail between his legs and looked dumbfounded. The family would laugh and often say, "Damn dog," with an ugly, mean spirit. Although the dog had good legs that easily covered 20 miles in one day, and has sharp white fangs that bring down lions, the dog is not afraid to show its hateful temperament, rotten villainy, and, without a sliver of pride, readily submit to and be subordinate to the world of humans. The dog will view its own kind as the enemy. They bark and bite each other when they come face to face, and strive to ingratiate themselves to humans. For contrast, look at the sparrow. While they are weak little birds without any weapon, isn't their freedom ensured, and don't they operate in individual small communities in a world of humans like each other and joyously sing of a happy life of daily poverty? The more I think about it, dogs are foul. Dogs are horrible. Even though they resemble us, in the end they are horrible. It's unbearable. Those dogs liked me so much, they wagged their tails to show affection. I could only describe it with dismay and exasperation. I held too much respect for the ferocity of dogs. This is why I scattered smiles all around with abandon as I walked. The dogs misinterpreted this as friendship and tried to win me over. A miserable result came to pass. Moderation is important in all matters. I still don't understand moderation. It happened in early spring. Just before dinner, I went out for a walk to the nearby parade ground of the 49th Regiment. 2 or 3 dogs trailed me. I didn't worry much about my heels being attacked from behind. However, I always had to feign nonchalance and struggled to suppress my impulse to flee like a rabbit. I squashed that impulse and casually walked on. As the dogs followed, they would start to fight each other along the way. I deliberately did not look back and walked on acting like I didn't know. In my mind, I was at my wit's end. I felt that if I had a pistol, I would want to shoot them to death without hesitation. The dogs knew nothing about this aspect of me, of an angel on the outside and a devil on the inside, nor the wicked hostility of my fair face and foul heart, and followed me everywhere. I walked once around the parade ground and went home wrapped in the adoration of the dog. By the time I got home, the dogs behind me had vanished into thin air. That was the custom until one day. On only that day, there was one persistent, overly friendly dog. He was a wretched little black dog, a tiny dog. His torso looked to be 6 inches long, but I let down my guard because he was so small. His teeth should have already grown in, if bitten every day for 3 weeks or 21 days of trips to the hospital would be necessary. This sort of childishness was devoid of common sense. It was whimsy. More caution was required. The little dog was sometimes in front of me and sometimes behind me and looking up at my face. At last he waddled up to the entrance of my home. Hey, this queer thing came back with me. Oh, he's cute. This is cute? Please, chase him away. If you're too rough, he'll bite you. Use a snack. This was my customary, spineless diplomacy. The little dog immediately saw the fear in my mind and took advantage of it to slip into living in my house. March passed, then April, May, June, July, and August, until now when the autumn winds have begun. And that dog was in my house. I don't know how often that dog made me cry. There was no way I could handle him. I had no choice and named him Pochi. We lived together for half a year and I still couldn't think of Pochi as one of the family. We were like strangers, didn't get along. It was trouble. Sparks flew and battles ensued as we read each... Sorry, my mouse is being weird for a second. Sorry. Sparks flew and battles ensued as we read each other's minds. In no way could we share a laugh. When he first came to my home, still a puppy, he would watch ants on the ground with suspicion, scared toads, and yelp. Burst out laughing without thinking. He may be a hateful fellow, but his wandering into my house may be from God's mind. I made a bed in the space under the floor, boiled and softened his food like baby food, and sprinkled flea powder on him. However, after a month passed, I couldn't do it any longer. Little by little, the real ability of this mutt was exposed. He was mean. Originally, this dog was surely dumped at the corner of a parade ground. On my way home from that walk, he clung to me. At the time, he was gaunt, patches of fur were missing, and a part of his tail was mostly bald. I gave him snacks and made rice porridge. Never spoke a harsh word, and provided a most hospitable welcome to soothe him. Surely another person would have kicked him to drive him away. Despite my kind treatment, which in fact was only a shrewd bargain, my absence of love for the dogs and innate animosity and fear of them. But thanks to me, didn't this Pochi have a nice coat and manage to grow into the dog of a man? I had no intention of buying his gratitude. I thought that we would have a little more fun, but in the end, a stray dog was bad. After eating a big meal and wanting to go out for some exercise, my clogs had been turned into toys and cruelly chewed up. The dog provided the unneeded service of dragging down the laundry hanging in the garden to dry and caking it with mud. Stop playing like this. Truth is, this is a problem. Who asked you to do something like this? I spoke scathing words, filled with disgust, to scold him as fondly as possible. The dog's eyes widened and he started to play with me as I conveyed my disgust. My spirit probably was too much pampering. I was quietly appalled by the brazenness of this dog and felt contempt for him. Finally, the inadequacy of this dog was revealed when he was fully grown. First, his figure was unsightly. When young, he was a little symmetric, and I thought he may be a mixture of superior bloodlines, but that was a blatant lie. Only his torso grew long. His limbs were remarkably short, like a turtle. He was a monstrosity. That hideous shape always trailed me like a shadow whenever I went out. Boys and girls would squeal and remark on the freakish dog, point at him, and laugh. Being slightly vain, I smugly walked on and did nothing. Even when I pretended to be a stranger and quickened my pace, Pochi never left my side, repeatedly looked up at my face and walked in front and behind, while always staying close to me. We never appeared to be strangers, only a master and servant with matched positions. As a consequence, whenever I went out, a dark gloom oppressed me. It became excellent training. When he followed close behind, it was good. Finally, the true nature of the fierce beast hiding inside was exposed. He came to love fighting. With him as my companion, he greeted every dog we met like walking while walking around town. That is, he would fight one after another. Pochi had short legs and was young. He seemed to be a reasonably strong fighter. He walked into a nest of dogs in an empty lot. For a short time, when he fought 5 dogs, he seemed to be in danger, but deftly dodged and sought shelter. He had extraordinary confidence and would spring at any dog. Sometimes his power was defeated, and he inched away while barking. His bark came close to a shriek, and his black face became bluish-black. He once leaped at a shepherd the size of a small cow. That time, I went pale. As expected, he was helpless. With his front legs, the shepherd rolled Pochi like a toy and had no interest in socializing. But Pochi lived. When a dog has this bitter experience once, he becomes timid. Since then, Pochi looked into their eyes and began to avoid fights. And I dislike fights, no, far from dislike. I believe that allowing wild animals to fight in the streets is the shame of a civilized nation. The racket is deafening, and dissatisfied rage and hatred, even where there is a kill, are felt in the savage baying of the yelping dog. I do not love Pochi. There is fear and hatred, but not a speck of love. It would be nice if he would die. He attached himself to me. Does he think it's my duty to care for him? The dogs we meet along the way always greet us with terrifying barks. As the owner, how much do I tremble at those times? I feel the need to call and stop a car, jump in, slam the door, and try to escape at full speed. If the dogfight should end, rather, if the enemy dog becomes frantic and looks like he's about to leap at me, Pochi's owner, what should I do? You can't say nothing. Savage animal hungers for blood. I don't know what to do. I may be savagely bitten and have to go to the hospital every day for 3 weeks or 21 days. A dogfight is hell. I took every opportunity to tell Pochi this. Look, you should never fight. If you fight, I want you to do it far away from me. I don't like you. Pochi seems to understand just a little. Saying that is a little disheartening. More and more I believe that dogs were unearthly beings. Have my repeated warnings prevailed, or did this ugly, crushing defeat in one battle with that shepherd begin that helpless, almost servile behavior in Pochi? When a strange dog started to bark at Pochi as we walked down the street, Pochi only said, "Ah, horrible. How awful. What a savage he is." He put on airs to earnestly please me, trembled, cast a sidelong glance at the other dog, who could do nothing to evoke pity. Then Pochi would size me up and give me a fawning smile. That display wasn't too unpleasant. Does this creature have one good quality? All he does is look at people's faces. I care too much about the strangest things, said my wife, who was indifferent toward Pochi from the start. She grumbled when the laundry was dirtied, but later acted as if nothing had happened. She called, "Pochi, Pochi, your supper's ready," and laughed as she said, "You may have a personality disorder." Disgusting thought came to mind. They say that the dog comes to resemble its owner. July came, and an unusual event rose. We discovered a small house in the middle of a building in Mitakamura, in Tokyo, that will soon be completed. With a monthly rent of 24 yen, I exchanged contract deeds with the landlord and began to make arrangements to move. When the house was finished, I would be promptly notified by the landlord. Naturally, we would dump Pochi and go. It would be all right to bring him with us, said my wife. Pochi isn't too much trouble. Either way is fine. No, I didn't take care of him because he's cute. It was because retaliation by a dog is frightening. I have no choice but to act in secret. Do you understand? Well, if Pochi disappears, where will he go? Where will he go? Won't it cause chaos? When he goes, my apprehension will worsen and hide in me. He may secretly rally his comrades. He knows I hold him with contempt. Dogs, you know, have a strong spirit of vengeance. I thought that now would be the perfect opportunity. If I act like I forgot this dog and left him, promptly take a train to Tokyo, this dog could never chase after us over the cliffs of Sasago Toge, all the way to Mitakamura. We didn't abandon Pochi. We completely forgot about forgetting to bring him with us. There was no crime. There was no reason to feel sorry for Pochi. There was no reason for vengeance. It'll be alright. Even if I left, he probably won't starve to death. You know, dead souls put on curses. By nature, he's a stray dog, said my wife. She was a bit anxious. true, he probably won't die of starvation. He'll probably be fine. Well, if that dog comes with us to Tokyo, I'll be ashamed in front of my friends. His torso is too long. He's grotesque. The decision was to leave Pochi behind. Then, an unexpected event occurred. Pochi contracted a skin disease. It was awful. I hesitate to describe it, but it was so wretched that you had to look away. Along with the intense heat, an appalling stench was released. That defeated my wife. This is bad for the neighborhood. Please kill him. Women are far more ruthless than men and courageous. Kill him? I was surprised. Can't we put up with it a little longer? We eagerly waited for the express letter from the landlord. Word should have come from the landlord by the end of July. July would soon be over. Today, tomorrow, our bags were packed. We waited, but no message arrived. Pochi's skin disease began when I sent out a letter of inquiry. It was a hideous sight. Pochi was also ashamed of his own horrible form and came to prefer dark places. Sometimes he slumped down and stretched out on the paving stones hit by the sun in the entryway. I discovered him and said, "Blech, what a sight." He quickly stood, embarrassed, and crept with head hanging into the space under the floor. When I went out, stealthy footsteps came from somewhere to go with me. Was it unbearable to have this ghoulish thing come? Every time, I said nothing. I just stared at Pochi. A mocking sneer clearly raised the corners of my mouth, and I stared at him. This was quite effective. Pochi remembered his sorry state. His head dropped, and downcast he went somewhere to hide. I can't stand it. Even I get terribly itchy. My wife said from time to time, I try my best not to look, but one glance and it's over. I even dream about it. Well, put up with it just a little longer, I said. There was nothing to do but put up with it. Although ill, my companion is a type of savage beast. If clumsily touched, I'd be bitten. Maybe the reply will come from Mitaka by tomorrow. If we move, then that will be that. The response from the Mitaka landlord arrived. I read it and was disappointed. Rain was falling and the walls had not dried. He also said there weren't enough workers to finish the work and expected it to take 10 more days. I was fed up. If only to escape Pochi, I wanted to move soon. In my frustration, I couldn't work. I only read magazines and drank sake. Pochi's skin disease worsened day by day. For some reason, my skin was often itchy too. Late at night, outside were the sounds of Pochi, squirming and struggling against the itch. I don't know how many times I shuddered. I couldn't stand it. Often I was seized by a fit of rage. We waited another 20 days for a letter to come from the landlord. In an instant, my confused resentment connected to Pochi. Why? He was the reason nothing went smoothly. I believed that every bad thing seemed to be Pochi's fault. Bizarrely, cursed him. One night, I discovered that the dog's fleas had spread to my nightclothes. Finally, the anger I endured to that point exploded. Secretly, I made an important decision. I would kill him. My rival was a savage beast that should be afraid. The normal me would be able to overcome this kind of violent decision. However, in the intense heat, characteristic of a basin, at the time I was a little peculiar. Every day I did nothing, only waited absent-mindedly for the letter from the landlord. Each day passed as dull as death. It couldn't be helped because my irritation and lack of sleep also helped me lose my mind. On the night I discovered the fleas, I immediately had my wife run to buy chunks of beef. Bought a small quantity of some chemical at the apothecary. I was ready. My wife was not a little excited. That night, we, the demon couple, huddled together to quietly confer. Next day, I woke at 4 in the morning. I had set the alarm clock but was awake before it rang. I was so tense, my skin was cold. I took the bamboo food wrap and went out. Don't look until the end and come home right away. My wife calmly stood on the steps of the entryway to see me off. I understand. Pochi, come. Wagging his tail, Pochi came out from under the floor. Come on. I said as quickly as I walked out. That day I did not see the miserable form of Pochi. Pochi also forgot his ugliness and cheerfully came to me. The fog was thick. The town was sound asleep. I hurried to the parade ground. Along the way, a terrifying big red dog barked ferociously at Pochi. Pochi displayed his usual air of gentility and glanced with contempt that said, "What is this? What is all this fuss?" And, with the red dog's permission, swiftly passed in front of him. The dog's red fur was shabby. Unjustly, he attacked Pochi from behind like the wind and aimed for Pochi's chilled balls. Pochi instantly turned, but hesitated a little to kindly look at me. "Do it!" I shouted. "That dog's a coward. Don't hold back. Do it!" With permission, Pochi quivered and quaked, then flew like a bullet at the red dog's bosom. Chaos reigned. The two fighting dogs looked like a Tamari handball. Although the red dog was bigger, that didn't matter. In a short time, he was yelping, shrieking, and in retreat. And he may have been infected with Pochi's skin disease. Stupid dog. The fight was over. I was relieved. I looked at the sweat on my hands. For a short time, I was embroiled in the dogfight and worried that I would die too. I would have been okay with being bitten to death. Pochi fought to his heart's content with fantastic swagger. Pochi chased after the fleeing red dog for a short time, then stopped and looked up at my face. The gloom reappeared, and with head down, he came back to me. "Great, you're a strong one," I praised him and continued our walk. We crossed the creaky bridge and reached the parade ground. Long ago, Pochi had been thrown away at this parade ground, and he has returned again to this parade ground. It's good to die in your old stomping ground. I stopped and dropped the chunks of beef at my feet. "Pochi, come eat." I didn't want to look at him. He stared blankly at me where he stood. "Pochi, come eat." Alright. From my feet rose the sounds of food being gobbled up. He should be dead in less than a minute. My shoulders were slumped as I plodded away. The fog was thick. The nearby mountains appeared to be a hazy black mass. The southern Alps mountain range and Mount Fuji were invisible. In the morning fog, my clogs were damp. I stooped over more and dragged myself home. Crossed the bridge and came to the front of the middle school. There I looked back and saw Pochi. Ashamed, head down, he avoided my gaze. Now I'm an adult and not given to mischievous thoughts. I knew what happened. The chemical had not worked. I nodded. I had been given a clean slate. He returned home. It was no good. The chemical didn't work. Let's forgive him. That fellow didn't commit any crime. Originally, the artist was an ally of the weak. I said to my wife, I thought of that on my way back. I'm a friend to the weak. The artist began there, and that's still this greatest aim. I'd forgotten this simple idea. Not only me, everyone has forgotten. I think we'll take Pochi with us to Tokyo. If my friends laugh at Pochi's figure, I'll slug him. Got any eggs? Yes, said my wife with a long face. Give it to Pochi. If you have two, give both eggs to him. You'll have to put up with him too, that skin disease. It'll go away soon. Yes, said my wife, still with a long face. That was the story of a pet dog by Osamu Dazai. I was literally just Charis Euphranor meets a dog. I enjoyed that. I thought it was really good. It was a short story. It went about the way I expected it to. But it was also quite just... And given its very short length as well. Succinct. Maybe is the word. I could have done a better job reading that. I think I did kind of... I think there were a few moments where I just paused to catch my breath because I hadn't read aloud in a while. Embarrassingly. And also, I got really choked up right like at the end there. I don't know if you heard it. I hope you didn't. But I kind of got a bit like I was I'm tired, okay? Who recommended this? Someone in chat, someone in live chat said, Charis Euphranor, you should read this. You should read the story of a pet dog. It's a short story. And I went like, oh, okay, I'll do that next time, I guess. And that was like 3 or 4 or 5 months ago. Now that I finally read it, I see exactly why you told me to read it. Because honestly, yeah, this is like how I would react to a dog. Me? Well, thank you, FCF, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, this is like how I would do it. This is how I would react to a pet dog. The start was really neat. You kind of need the start. The start really sets the mood for it. Like, the start there's no part of the story where it's like, yeah, you can kind of skim through it. I feel like you have to actively read every part of it and ingrain, like, have it impress upon you. I liked how annoyed he was and how that never really went away. It didn't feel like, obviously we know where it goes, right? Like, you set up the story. The story's called The Story of a Pet Dog, and like the first paragraph is like, I hate dogs, I want to commit dog genocide. It's like, you know, at the end of the short story, it's like, okay, he gets a pet dog and then he feels sympathy, right? Like, that's very obvious. But I don't think it's like a sudden change of heart and he's a different person. I don't feel that it's like, oh, the complete turnover of this person's like this person's personality. It felt very much like he was still annoyed almost, but he was annoyed. His annoyance was not just at like dogs and how annoying they could be, but also he was annoyed at how tolerant he became of the dog over time and how empathetic he became before he knew it. How his tolerance kind of grew into a certain type of fondness. I don't know. He's so paranoid. Yeah, but like, you know, he's just like me for real, I guess is what I can say. Thank you for recommending this to me because I feel so seen. Like, this is exactly how I feel about every animal I cross paths with. But yeah, I tripped up a bit with some of the sentences. I think I was a bit too fast for some things. I was too slow with others. Tripped up a bit with some names. Overall, like, other than that, I think I did an okay job. You hate dogs? Yeah. Well, not like I hate them. Like, not like it's not like him where I wish I could kill them. I'm not like I want to commit dog genocide. Like that's not what I want. I don't want dog genocide. I just want them to stay away from me. They are allowed to exist, just not anywhere near me. That's all. That's how I feel about dogs. It's like they should stay far away. You can walk your dog. You can have your dog. When I visit you, I'll give your dog scratches or whatever. But at the end of it, I don't want a dog in my house. I don't want to have to take care of a dog. I don't want to have to interact with the dog on my own life and daily basis. And maybe I'm sort of reading this story and putting myself in this story and reading it because I relate so much to the author, or to the main character, the character whose perspective the story is being told from. But I don't like dogs, and the only thing I would possibly dislike more than just the grievances I already have is if I then get attached to the dog, some shit happens, and I have to deal with the dog. The only thing that would make it worse, that would make the experience of I have to deal with a fucking dog worse, is if I get attached to the dog and I have to deal with it dying or getting a disease, and then that has to weigh on my soul as well. That's why I will never own a dog, because I hate dealing with them in the first place. But if I have to get attached to them emotionally and then have to fucking feel that every time it gets a disease and potentially break the bank to get them to a vet as well, I don't want a dog. I don't want any of that. When you see a dog too close to you, you create the low T god me. Now, no, I just don't want to it's the reason why I don't really want a pet in general. Is because above all, the annoyances of dealing with a pet are too much for me. I don't want to fucking bring them to the vet. I don't want to give them check. I don't want to buy food for them. I don't want to set up a bed, clean up after them. That's so fucking annoying. That's so much extra work. But the worst part of owning a pet is when they get a disease and die, and or die. It hurts. It will hurt me so much more. And that's why I'm never gonna own a pet, I think. I don't want that. That's how I feel about bugs. It's how I feel about any animal in general. It's just how I feel about every and any animal. My cat got surgery today and it hurt so much to watch her walk limp. Is she alright? Is she doing better? Is this that I sympathize with it, but I hope it's still good. I hope it's still good news in the sense that she'll recover from the injury and be better than or the surgery and be better than ever, right? I hope that's the case. Other humans too? Well, well, what do you mean? I don't want animals. I don't want animals as pets. I don't think I would want a human as a pet either. I think. What are you trying to say? Hold on. What were you responding? What was I saying? I just said I hate other animals, I think is what I said. You're asking me now, do I hate other humans too? Okay, sorry. That's not in the context of a pet. No, but that's not an invitation to test my patience, okay? No, I think I do think this, which is something I need to reconcile with myself. It's not totally related to this story so far. Sorry, I've just sort of spilling thoughts out as they come. But there is something in me I need to reconcile with myself that I haven't yet. And I have no good answer yet. I firmly believe that human life is inherently much more valuable than animal life. In the sense that if it were like, would you save a dog or would you save a human being? Or like any pet, or like would you save a human being? Like in a fire. Like to me the answer is obvious. You save the human being, right? Most people believe that, right? So I'm gonna start with like this is what most people think, and then I'm gonna get slowly more into my view and why like I don't have difficulty reconciling it with it. Is then I go like, okay, what if it were like 2 pets? What if it was like 2 dogs? It was like, no, we would still save the human. Okay, 3, and then so on and so forth. How many dog lives would I trade for like a human life? The human can think and save themselves. Yeah, so the assumption is obviously not like in a fire, because that's a little different. But like the point of it is like if I had to choose between them, and obviously you don't have. Ideally, you just don't. I think you brought this up before. I might have brought this up before. It's like an animal thing, yeah. So I might have brought this as an animal thing, but that's just for like chickens, right? Like I will destroy a planet of chickens to save one like human from like certain death if that was what it took. But what if it were like a planet of pet dogs, or like dogs that could potentially be pets, right? I have difficulty reconciling how far I would weigh that in the scale, if at all. Maybe that's the wrong question to ask, right? Is maybe by asking, okay, how would I weigh this scale? I'm already committing the mistake of thinking this is a scale to weigh, and it's not, right? That could be too, but I've yet to totally reconcile that. You know what I mean? In the same way, it's like I don't know how to value a pet. I don't know how to value an animal, because on the one hand, like I can see how people get attached to pets, and they grow fond of their cats, their house pets, their dogs, their fish, their crabs, their whatever. I don't like what people have as pets or fish. But on the other hand, I also see how, like, we generally are, as a society and culture, are okay with the death, like, with certain animals. We kill and eat for food. Chicken, beef, chickens, cows, pigs, sheep. Like we think they're like, we kill them. Like we kill them and we eat them, and we have a society that has normalized that, and I have been normalized to it. So it's not like I'm saying like it's fucked up that we do that. No, I don't think it's fucked up, but maybe it's fucked up. Maybe the fact that I don't think it's fucked up is fucked up, but I don't know. I don't know how to reconcile that, because it's like, it's funny. There was like a meme where it's like a billboard for promoting like veganism or something, or like animal rights, and it was like, where do you draw the line? And it was like a line of animals, and then there was like someone who responded to that billboard with like a here, and then they just draw the line somewhere where it was like, here's food, and then here's animal. And it was a very clear line. It's like, okay, after this line, all these are like, these are pets, these are pet animals, and the ones on over this side are food, and that's it. And it was funny, but like also like you're missing the point, right? You're missing the point of the idea. Rise trolley problem: your stepkid's life or your spouse's pets? Kid's life, 100%. That's not that difficult, is it? For me, it's not that difficult. Now, if it was like your spouse's pets, and all of your loved ones, everyone you know who you are acquainted with, all of their pets, versus maybe your stepkid's life, right? Now, like, I would still save the kid's life, but I'm gonna get a lot of resentment from people, right? If we have to trolley problem this shit. But again, maybe trolley probleming stuff all the time isn't like conducive to a healthy view of the world, right? Like, it's not always choose one or the other. It's like that fucking interview. It's like that fucking stupid, dumbass street interview guy walking up to someone going like, a good economy or LGBTQ rights? And the guy goes like, neither. Like the guy goes both, and he's like, you have to choose one. And he's like, no, you don't. And he goes like, no, you have to choose one. And he goes like, why the fuck do you have to choose one? Why can't we not have both? What the fuck is, like, why are you trying to say one has to be chosen and over the other? That makes no sense. Anyways, maybe that's like, maybe I'm committing the same mistake. I'm very open to that. Low-key saving the dog unless the person, like a baby or child or whatever. I don't give a fuck about the average capable adult, but keep in mind that I'm low empathy amount. Well, that could be that, like, fair enough. But like, I'm imagining it in the sense of like, literally the trolley problem, right? Not just in, oh, how maybe the person to be saved is capable of getting themselves out of the situation, like ignoring all that. I'd save a pet because it probably do less harm in general, but it also would do less good, right? It could do less good than the human being. I'll be real with you, I think just about everything is acceptable to eat. Honestly, I think I don't know if I would use the word acceptable, but like I think it would be very difficult to draw the line between what is and isn't edible. And if you had to, in my opinion, the strongest place to draw the line is for any any creature that is not human on this earth is fair game. Like I think that if you had to draw a moral line somewhere, it's there. And the only reason we, for example, don't, well, some cultures, maybe Western society, doesn't eat certain animals, like cats and dogs, is because they don't taste very good, probably, and then we've decided they're better as pets. They're more useful, right? They're cute and we like having them around the house, then rather than say like a chicken, because people have pet chickens too, but you know, it's ingrained in our thoughts to, and this is all social, again, this is all socially engineered. Like if you grew up in a culture where people eat cats and dogs, then people eat cats and dogs. It's animal, it's food, right? But you and I probably, likely, not maybe not guaranteed, but likely you and I have both grown up in a culture where no, they're pets, they're house pets. But you could easily imagine that not being the case, right? Fuck the economy, it's not like I'm benefiting from it. True answer, true. Who costs too much to keep cats and dogs as food? Yeah, well, that's like one of the other reasons, right? Like it's just not quite like feasible, and it's just not a good idea. Not because it's like not, it's morally impermissible. It's like don't do that. It's just like it's a waste, right? Like, you'd rather just spend less resources on a much tastier, maybe even more nutritious animal instead, you know. So then, like, you know, we concede then that it's morally permissible to like eat a cat and a dog, right? Not someone's pet, not like someone's pet dog or cat. That's a whole different argument. That is an entirely different argument. This is just purely you're thinking about just like that animal in general. You can eat anything, it's just dependent on the situation. Like in an apocalypse, it's all on the table. Yeah. I mean, like, whatever you take to survive. Not even in an apocalypse, just think everything should be able to be eaten. Yeah, I think that's the, because I don't feel very strongly about it, but like that's the, my stance is just like that the line we draw between what is food and what is animal is a line in the sand. Like you can draw the line, but in the same way you can draw the line where you're like, I'm gonna eat these animals and not these. So can I draw the line maybe further down the left or further down the right and go, you know what, I'll eat a horse. And then like maybe even further, like, oh, I'll eat it like a dog, I'll eat a cat, right? Like, and then maybe someone else draws it a bit further to the right because of cultural reasons, like, oh, actually I'm not going to eat cows, like I'm not into that for one reason or another. Or maybe someone goes like, actually I don't know if I want to eat like anything other than fish, and then they draw the line over there. my perspective on the matter is the only strong art in my limited understanding of that, the strongest place where you can draw the line, or the range in which you can draw that line and have a sort of moral backing on it, is pretty much for any creature except humans. I don't know why people get so up in arms about eating dog, because they're like, it's icky, and it's people who grew up in a culture where that's not a thing. We as humans will frown upon and discourage things that we didn't grow up like we replicate what was taught to us subconsciously or otherwise, right? Like, you don't have to go through a lesson in school with the teacher going like, we never eat dogs, and here's why we never eat dogs, here's why we never eat cats, and here's the lesson. Like, you don't have to do that. It's just the culture. It's just people will have food, they will have dinner, and then they will learn through that implicitly that, oh, you don't eat dogs and cats, you do, because you eat chicken and beef instead. And so then when they hear maybe certain parts of the world will eat dogs instead, they get really up in arms because that's dissimilar to what they're used to. I think it's gross, but that's it. Like, I don't have a strong moral stance against why you shouldn't have it, if that wouldn't also apply to just any animal in general. It gets a little more complicated when you get to certain seafoods, and then when you get to certain, like, you know, sort of living creatures, it's a bit more complex. But again, I'm not a biologist, okay? I don't feel strongly. I just think it's silly to draw a line. I think it's not silly to draw a line, but it's silly to draw a line and expect everyone in the world to follow that line. Like, it's not silly to draw a line. I think it's good to draw a line. I think everyone should draw a line. You should draw a line, and but you should also think about what you're doing when you draw that line. And you should reevaluate your line every so often to go, is this where I want the line to be? But you should draw the line. You should go like, okay, I'll eat these things and I won't eat these. But you shouldn't draw that line and look around you and go like, everyone should follow my line now. Like, that's fucking stupid. I think that is a little ridiculous. If dog tastes anything like coyote, it makes sense why people here wouldn't eat dog from a taste perspective. Carnivore meat is usually kind of meh usually. Yeah. I've heard that carnivore meat is just not tasty, right? Is the other thing. Like, we just want herbivore meat. Like, it just tastes better. Meat eating animals tend to taste bad, hence why people will probably tend to taste bad. Because, or like carnivorous humans will. Chickens are the most effective. No, yeah, I think chickens are like some of the most economically efficient. But bear in mind, it's also like the optimized subhuman not subhuman, sorry, like inhumane rather than subhuman is the better word to use here. Treatment of those animals, but you know, that's a whole lot. Reminds me of the crab lady debate. A TikToker put crabs in the air fry, and people were wondering if it's morally okay. Okay, before I get into the moral argument, I know it has no bearing on this, or it shouldn't have any bearing on this. As a rigorous philosopher, it shouldn't have any bearing on my decision. But does it taste better if you fry it alive? Because if it tastes better if you fry it alive, objectively speaking, then I kind of go like, well, it does taste better. Even though I think it probably shouldn't bear any, like, it shouldn't have any bearing on the morality of it. Boiling a creature alive, I think, is just like unnecessarily cruel is the word I've heard, and I think that's fair. I think I don't think it's a strong thing I would make a law, but I think I would encourage it as like something that people should bear in mind. Like, it's not something to outlaw, but it is something to socially, culturally discourage, I think. Like boiling or frying an animal alive. Can someone eat a living octopus? Isn't that shit on YouTube? And that's not demonetized or something, but like me playing 5 seconds of a corpo song on my monetization stream demonetizes my monetization stream? Sorry, I'm a little mad. How do you feel about eating goat or lamb? They don't provide much meat, but in some situations farmers treat them pets. I don't... Do they not? Because lamb chop is fucking awesome. I love lamb chops. I love the taste of lamb chops, so maybe I'm biased. Lamb is like the treat. Like lamb and steak, like beef steak, are like my treats. When it's like, okay, I can splurge like a little bit. That's when I eat. They're way too expressive due to domestication, so we are more prone to personify cats and dogs. A cow, pig, or fish doesn't have that much ability to showcase personality, so we empathize this. Yes, and in addition to that, think about it this way. The dogs and cats we have now are domesticated, not in the sense that, oh, like, you know, we domesticated because from birth, they've been around humans and it's nice. No, no, no. We have been breeding their species for the sole intent of them being cute and useful for us. If they were not cute and useful, we bred away those genes, and we have just transmorphed this species into like largely cute animals for us. They are like slaves to our whim. Their species and their whole genetic makeup and existence is because we wanted something pretty to look at. There are fucking dogs that can't breathe properly because of this. We have bred those terrible living like or conditions on it because some of us think that's cute. I like that. Would you eat octopus? Octopus tastes really good, yeah. So the answer is yeah, I've had it and it's fantastic. I like it roasted. I liked it in a skewer. I like skewered octopus, I think. The first thing that came to my mind was skewered octopus. Squid as well. Squid is really good. But like fried or skewered. No, I think we taste bad because of all the chemicals that get pumped into us. Yeah, and the microplastics. Lady said it tasted good air fried, but it didn't compare it to like a dead crab she air fried first. Yeah, well, it's like, you know, it's clearly just a thing on TikTok that went viral because people feel an emotional reaction to it, and that's why the algorithm. I'm not too concerned with it. Ladies being unnecessarily cruel. If you've seen into the eyes of lambs and goats, it's hard to kill a goat lamb when you can't harvest them. No, I've never been in the fields, if that's what you're asking. I mean, I've seen them, like, I've, like, been on hikes around hills where there are goats and lambs. Sheep just chilling. Like, I've been on hikes, I've seen them around, but I've not, like, farmed. I've not worked the land. That's not me. My soft, dainty hands could never, but not because I look down upon it. On the contrary, it's because I'm not physically capable enough to work the land. I recognize this is a weakness of mine, and I try my best to overcome it through being useful in other means. Okay. Most goats die when I grew up during a holiday. Oh, I see. I mean, if you watch it enough, you kind of get normalized to it, right? I used to. So this is for like seafood, so maybe it's a little less like. It's a little less. I used to. So okay. Do I tell this story? Yeah, it's relevant. I guess I'll tell this. Okay. So I'm 60 years old. So this is a long time ago, right? But back when I was younger as a kid, my mom would buy fresh fish from the markets, and would bring it back home, and we would have like steamed fish. It was like one of our family's favorite dishes, steamed fish. My dad really likes steamed fish, so we again, this is a long time ago because I'm 60 years old. But my mom, because we didn't want to like, you know, steam them alive, you know, it would be messy because it would fuck up the whole thing. Like, I didn't really think it was because we wanted to avoid cruelty, but it was more because it would have caused such a mess anyways, that the live fish we brought back my mom couldn't like skin them and couldn't like gut them because they would still be flopping around. So what I would do is I was in charge of knocking the fish unconscious slash killing them if it came down to it, but just mainly just knocking them unconscious. And what I did was, okay, it's kind of fucked up. It is a little fucked up, but it's very relevant to the conversation. And I'm not trying to like pretend like I have some sort of moral claim on the rights of animals. Okay, I just had like, I just made like a beef patty for dinner, so like it's not, I'm not above this. Okay, but I would, with the pan, I would beat the shit out of the fish on the basin, on like a huge washing basin. I would just slam the pan into its head to knock it unconscious slash kill it, and so then my mom could start like gutting it and dissecting it. uh Karate chop a live fish like a sponge. No, it was with a frying pan. I would like whack it on the head, and it would keep like flailing around, and I would yell at it as I did it. I did that a lot. That was my job. And then we would gut them. So like I never really thought about like killing an animal by cooking it. It's usually that you kill it and then you cook it. Crabs, I think what we would do is like, because live, you want to preserve its freshness by keeping it alive as long as possible. But I think we would like, so what we would do is we would dismember it, we would cut it up, and we would rip out its like, you know, organs before we threw it into like a fryer or like a boiler or whatever, however we chose to cook. So we didn't do what that TikTok lady. I don't think we did that because of any moral, like, anti-cruelty reasons. It was just because, like, it made more sense in the culinary process, I guess. Yeah. You were gonna say you put it in the chokehold? No, if I put my hand next to it, it would like slap me, and then I would go, "Ah, fuck! Don't touch me, you fucker!" And then I would. That's why I needed a weapon as well. But with a weapon, I could handle it. I had to do similar to a snapping turtle once. Turtle had a bit more fight than its advantage had my brother. Ooh, ooh. Now that's a more controversial animal, isn't it? That's where like the line is like kind of wavy. I'm not shaming you. I'm just noting that it's interesting because it's like a more controversial animal, I think, relatively speaking. I think I've had turtle before, or I've had turtle food products, but I don't think I've had like turtle meat by itself. I think no. Okay, I think there's mosquito in my room. I think there is as well. I'm looking around, and I'm feeling my like skin. I feel like there's a mosquito bite on my like cheek or something, which pisses me off. Because I mean that means that motherfucker was right on me and I didn't see it, and that annoys me to no end. I don't know where it is. Where is it? This, god damn. Snapping turtles are pretty common to where I'm from, but mostly because they're somewhat pest. I see. Interesting. It reminds you of like the anecdote or story, pseudo story. I'm not sure if it's like a real like historical thing. But I remember watching Trash Taste, like the podcast, the Trash Taste podcast, and they were talking about an animal. This is where I heard it from. Like, I want to let you know this is where I heard it from, because it could be total pseudo bullshit. I just want to let you know that's where I heard it from. Like, apparently there was a species of turtle that tasted really good, and also because of the way like it's like body worked, it was a huge storage of water as well. So basically it was like food and drink all in one. And that is like, and then it tasted incredible as well. But they were being hunted to extinction in a country. And so in order to like preserve that, they tried to bring a few of those turtles over to like another country. And those are like pretty much the last of their kind, right? And they were trying to like breed them so that they would have more of them. But then the boat trip on the way, the sailors couldn't resist because they kept hearing about how these are like the most delicious turtles in existence. And so the sailors just ate the turtles. And they never made it over the sea. Like they never made it, and now it's like extinct or something. Apparently. I hate mosquitoes so much, man. Like most people do, but I extra hate them. I don't think I extra hate them, but I do hate them. Like the amount that one should hate mosquitoes, man. I would wish for a mosquito genocide. I would do that. I know, yeah, it will destroy the ecosystem. Okay, I hate them enough that like if I had the choice, I would hate the least. If I weren't concerned with the broader, like, biodiverse, like, goodness of our surroundings, that's what I would do. But also, yeah, like, I feel like the line for what's acceptable to eat as like for animals also extends a lot when that specific animal is like a pest. Because there's too much of them, and it's actually good, like, it feels like we as humans in the animal kingdom, perhaps the ones at the peak or beyond it, but like it feels as though we're participating in this and we're equalizing the ecosystem in a way, which can be good. Looking for the mosquito and found 2 spiders. Someone sent it. Oh wow, fuck. Was full of spiders. Oh no. God. FCF, I hope that's all. I hope everything's alright there. Fuck having to deal with Spider-Man. Oh my god. Closest thing I can think of is a soft shell turtle that has super long neck, but I heard they overhunted it because it was a natural. I see. So it could have been totally made up. It could have been a totally made up story. But anyways, if that's true, that's super funny. If it's not true, imagining that scenario also is kind of funny to me. Like a food is like a specific animal is so good as food that we can't resist the temptation and we just like eat all of it. It says a lot. It says a lot. This made up story really says a lot about society. It's totally fucking fabricated pseudo history bullshit. It says a lot about society. Good luck with the spiders, man. But yeah, I don't know. I don't like animals. And I've always been okay with eating them. And even if not eating them, it's not because, oh, they're above the other animals. Like, no, I don't avoid eating dogs because they are more precious than chicken. I avoid eating dogs because they probably taste like shit compared to chicken. So I will eat chicken because it tastes good. You were alive during the first discovery of dodo birds. Did you hunt them for sports? I don't think I'm a hunter. I don't think I would hunt animals. I don't know. If I had an upbringing that trained me as a hunter, I might, but I don't see myself like really enjoying hunting. I would certainly want to experience it though. I've never been on a hunt, so I don't know. I've never been on a hunt with a gun. I've never. Here's how you know I've never set foot in America, in the U.S. Because I have like a sort of American accent. People like ask if I'm American. Here's how you know I've never stepped foot in America. I don't even know what a gun looks like in real life, I think. Okay, well I do, but like not. Like I've never held a gun. I've never touched a gun. I've never seen a gun in any context other than like being on an armed police officer. That's it. That is it. Anyways, like I don't think I would enjoy hunting very much. Like I don't even know anyone who has a gun. Actually, no, that's a lie. I know one person who has a gun because he's American. Because he is. No, I know. Never mind. I do know a few Americans that have guns. Okay, I don't know anyone who's not American who has. Whatever. That defeats the whole group. Anyways, I don't think I would be good at hunting, and I don't think I would enjoy hunting. Actually, maybe I'd be good at hunting. I'm very quiet. I'm very good at being like sneaking up on things. And I'm probably fairly accurate shot, right? I would think. I have prescription glasses, you know. My prescription glasses might be a debuff. Might have trouble coordinating my hands and fingers as well. My hand-eye coordination, maybe that's a little. Yeah, you know what? Maybe now that I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking back to my Counter-Strike days. Yeah, I don't think I would be a good hunter. Not really. But I would like not hunt an animal to extinction if it were up to me. Just saying it's a skill issue on people who do that. Skill issue. Okay, I'm pretty tired. Joke is dodo birds have zero survival instincts, so they will walk up to you while you're hunting them. Ah, I see. Sorry, I don't know. Thank you for explaining the joke. I don't know what the I've never encountered a dodo bird. But yeah, I don't think I would enjoy hunting anything in general. Okay. So that was Story of a Pet Dog, and that was the sort of post-story discussion. I would look up Osamu Dazai, but maybe there's like more things to read from him that I would wait for, and then before we dive into the context post. I don't know. They were doomed from the start. Okay, like in fairness, I also have zero survival instinct. I don't know. No Longer Human's a good one. Okay. I'll note that. Plot summary. No analysis. No. PDF. Full text. Archive.org. Perfect. Oh, it's a longer read. But it's on archive.org. Okay. What's the next reading stream going to be on? No clue. Sorry, I really don't know. What do you want it to be? What would you like the next reading stream to be? So me for real, except for the misogyny, of course. Well, Myth of Sisyphus, you bastard. No, that's not going to be in the next reading stream because that's going to be what I sit down and record reading within this week. I have not yet started, but I was going to start today, but then I fell asleep. I took a nap. I was going to start like earlier today. I was going to record a bit of Sisyphus and then like do this stream. And then I just took a nap instead because I was so tired. Can you read more of the second text? I can, but I think I want to just eventually drop the mega nuke that is all 800 pages read by me. Eventually. Poor Folk by Dostoevsky. Okay, I should have like a reading. I want to read more Dostoevsky, so maybe we'll do that. Dostoevsky was in financial difficulty because of his extravagant lifestyle and his developing gambling addiction. Although he had produced some translations of foreign novels, they had little success, and he decided to write a novel of his own to try to raise funds. Oh, he's just like me for real. To make a playlist for all the reading streams? Yeah, so I was talking about this earlier. Were you here? When I was talking about this earlier, it's like I want to make a playlist for all the reading streams, but then the streams are quite disruptive within each other, and discussions and talkings happen in those streams that make it a difficult thing to like. Because like if it's a playlist, you want to just click it and they just like, you know. I might do that. I don't know. I don't think I will do that actually. Like, because if I do that, then it's like you have to click in and then you have to skip maybe like an hour into the stream for the reading to start, and then I'm gonna cough midway, and then I'm gonna drink water, and then I'm gonna mess up a line 5 times, and then I'm gonna maybe accidentally burp without muting my microphone or something, and then like I'll get to the end, and after the discussion I veer off into a totally different unrelated thing, and then so the going to experiencing the readings is in the stream is so fucking annoying. Whereas if I make a video, I can cut all that out and I can just have it so that you have one thorough experience. So I want to do something like making a playlist with the reading streams, but not for the reading streams. I think instead, henceforth, I will make reading videos, and I will make, and maybe the first one could be Myth of Sisyphus in that, like, and I just structurally template it in a way that makes it a lot more enjoyable and a lot more playlistable. If that makes sense. And effectively with that, I might be getting rid of the reading streams in general because I'll just be doing reading videos. I don't know. But I don't know though, because that I'm a little conflicted with that. Maybe I'll do reading videos for things and I'll do reading streams for some other thing. We can just do both, but for different texts. Do some stories by Nikolai Gogol? Okay. When you release this, can you play something absurdist, artistically or philosophically? I did a whole week of that, in fact. I played the game of Sisyphus for a whole week. When the week I was supposed to read it, and then it's been like a month now and I still haven't read it. Both have pros and cons, but live readings have a certain realness to them. Okay, I see. That's good. I want to gather as much feedback from possible because this is like going to be a little bit of... But also, like, my Kafka Metamorphosis video, that's not a stream, but it's pretty much just a reading stream without the stream, has, like, a lot more views that people went through it. A lot more people went through it than through these reading streams, so maybe you guys are just the minority, okay? And I'm not going to listen to you guys. When you advocate for streams, because the numbers do not add up. People don't like streams as much as they like the videos. But it's only been one video. I don't. Also a short story. Hell Screen by Ryunosuke. Ryunosuke, okay. Oh, I know that one. I know Hellscreen. I've read Hellscreen. No, I haven't read Hellscreen. I haven't been able to I haven't brought myself to read it yet. But I have. Yeah, it's like an artist who wants to create the most terrifying hell, right? Yeah, yeah. I studied the story in in relation to Buddhist philosophy. So I didn't read the story in itself, but I read like, because it was part of like an understanding of like a larger point that was being made. It was sort of just referenced. So I was like, oh, that's what that is about. So I know of it, and I've dabbled with the way it's studied and understood in the context of some philosophies, but I've not actually read it. Characters based on it in Limbus Company, interesting, but also like kind of, oh, ooh, that's intense. Chris hates my what? What did I say? What did I say just now? What did I say just now? I don't remember what I just said. Oh, I said I'm not listening to you guys. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. You all aren't real, so it's okay. Classic Japanese literature is one of my favorite genres. It's really good. Audiobooks are pretty nice too. I think it depends on what you feel more comfortable. So I think what will differ from when I do reading videos is they're not going to be audiobooks in that I will provide context, and after the reading I will provide thoughts. And maybe even during the reading at very specific moments I'd be like, hold on, I want to just make, and I will say it out loud. So that will be different from an audiobook where it's just like uncontinued text and all you hear is the text. You don't hear the person and what they think. You just hear the text. That's what you're here for. So when I make a reading video, it will be pretty much like these streams, except I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to myself. We'll see how that turns out. Maybe like it doesn't pan out well and I come back to doing more reading streams as streamed, more readings in streams rather than in video. Okay, I'm tired. I gotta go. I need to not be here. I won't be here tomorrow, but I guess it's fine because aren't you fuckers like organizing another meetup on Discord tomorrow or something? Is what I read and what some of you told me. I don't know. But probably won't stream tomorrow then. I don't want to get in the way of your guys' hangout, okay? I don't want to get in the way of that. You do what you want. You enjoy what you want to enjoy. It's not my business, but you know what? Since you guys have each other, you don't need me. I won't stream tomorrow. I'll stream the day after. How would you upload the reading streams if you felt like you cooked? I mean, all those reading streams are VODs already. I've only unlisted 2, and they're both my readings of the second sex. And the reason is because I don't want because way too many people who are regular chatters and non-regular chatters have asked me, hey, when's the next second sex reading? And I go like, I don't, like, both times I read it was kind of like a gag reason. There was this sort of comedic effect in my reading of it. I never intended to read the whole thing. My intentions for reading feminist literature started off as a joke. Okay, does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. It started off as like a funny thing, but then over time, people just liked that I would read that stuff, and so now I feel like I have an obligation to feed the next, like, okay, when's the next reading? When's the next thing? And in doing so and endeavoring in this, and this is like probably a soft promise I will make, is like I'm probably just gonna eventually, like, because because if I do chapter 3, people are gonna ask when chapter 4 is, and when I do chapter 5, or like when I finish volume 1, people are gonna ask for volume 2. I decided, okay, fuck it. I'm not gonna do another thing, and I'm removing all this shit. Instead, I will take my time, and it will take probably a few months, but I will do it little by little. I haven't started, but I've come committing myself to it now that I'm telling you as well, right? I will just read all of the second sex again, and I will read it from cover to cover. I'll read the whole thing. And I will release, and it will release, and it's like, what, 800 pages or some shit? I don't know how long it is. It's probably really long. Maybe it'll take a year to do, right? But then I'm going to do that, and it'll be like a 10, 12 hour, like, mega thing. Okay? And then I will upload that, and I will be like, no one... I should be allowed to make as many jokes about women that I want if I do that. That's like the moral, you know, like the concept of like a moral loan or something, like the moral borrowing. I forget what exactly it is. It's the idea that it's like people, when they do like a good deed, they feel like it's morally permissible to them, for them to like then do a bad thing. That's me when I do like 12 hours of reading feminist literature. I'm gonna go on stream. And I'm gonna like sound like a 4chaner. That's what I'm gonna do. Oh. I can send my reading list on Discord if you want. Yeah, please put it on recommendation. Do that, please. I guess he's gonna start saying. Okay, I can't do that. There's no like that's the thing, is like you can't, maybe like 10 years ago or 15 years ago or 20 years ago. You can afford to joke with slurs, but in today's like socio-political climate, that is not the case. Because 20 years ago, if you made a joke that involved the slur, people would still understand and have the faith of like, oh yeah, well, this is a joke. And like, you know, you obviously don't mean it. But nowadays, it's like, even if that were the case, there's enough extremists, like there are enough extremists out there that will just use that as a way to legitimize their actual hateful use of slurs. So it's like, that's not gonna fly. Like, that is not happening. Even if I wanted to, and I don't. Even if I never did. I never found the humor in slur usage. But that was just me personally. It wasn't really for a moral reason. It was for like, I just simply didn't find it as comedic. The closest I found to it, to the use of like taboo words being funny, is probably like in the comedy of George Carlin. But Carlin kind of takes a very introspective view of it, and I'm ashamed to admit it as well. I laughed at Louis C.K. jokes back in the good old days, before everything went woke, so to speak. But yeah, like there's like, I'm not doing that. When you walk 3 miles to school and you eat junk food like chips for dessert. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Meet Carmilla for Halloween, give us lesbian vampires. Okay, remind me when it's October. Remind me in 5 months. I'll use what I'm allowed to use. I don't want to use anyone. I don't want to invite that evil into me. Like, I'll say some stuff okay, hold on, wait. Where is this conversation going? Where is this conversation going? Let me think about this. I'm okay with my bottom line, right? Is I will say stuff that's at my expense. Like, whatever it is, if it is ultimately at my expense, I'm okay with it. But if it's not just at my expense, it's at my expense plus also like whether or not it is, it's the same community of people that I'm a part of, or the same like people who are just like me for real that will also get slurs thrown at and discriminated. Like, whether or not any of those things are a case, I don't want every joke, if it's at the expense of anyone, should be at the expense not just of myself, but exclusively myself. Or someone who I genuinely dislike. if it's genuinely someone I dislike, then I'll be okay with, like, you know, making a joke at them, their expense. Or it's someone I genuinely really like, and or have a rapport with. Yeah, so I can make a joke at my expense, at the expense of someone I really don't like, and there's not that many people out there like that. So, like, I feel like when that's the case, like, such as the guy who owns Twitter, like, that's, like, you know, I would, like, joke about him. And people I'm friends with, like, people who I have, like, established rapport, I'll make a joke at their expense. But I would not make a joke at someone's expense unless I wouldn't do it behind their back. I would always either do it right when they're there, or if I do make a joke behind their back, I will tell it again in front of them. No, that's not you are not listening to my words. I'm saying in every case of these scenarios, there is no justifiable reason to. There's just, like, no reason to. Like, you can't really justify it. And even if you could, it's like, it's not funny. I can't think of a funny joke that I can't think of anything I've laughed at that's like, it only works if there's a slur. Even, like, racially based jokes, which is a lot of stand-up comedy and humor, right? Is there's, like, a lot of stand-up humor revolves around race relations in American stand-up comedy, but also just in Western stand-up comedy in general. And I think just stand-up comedy in general. It's a big theme. It's a big pool of jokes to pull from. Even then, it's, like, kind of like, I can't think of many that depend on the use of a slur. Like, you have to use it for the joke to be funny. I can't think of anything. You know? We should stop talking about this before, like, before I say something that could be clipped out of context and weaponized against me. I'm gonna, like, stop. If you want to gossip over an opinionated edit author, may I recommend Mary Corelli, Queen Victoria's rumored favorite author, woman drenched in scandal. Ooh, interesting. Can you guys, like, put it on the Discord if you don't mind? All your recommendations, because, like, if you put it on live chat, I'll remember it, but then I'll forget it the next day because I forget things really easily. But if you put it in Discord, I can always go back and look at it. So if you have any suggestions, thank you for telling me those suggestions here. But please, if you don't mind, could you, if you really feel strongly about it and you want me to see it, put it on Discord, then I will see it. And this section, this is why I'm never doing another reading stream again. Okay, this is why. What about the sign language small person joke from Donald Glover? Oh, I think I know which joke you're talking about. I think. Is that the one that's at his expense? Like, the punchline was at his expense. It was someone making fun of him, and he was, like, talking about how ridiculous it was. I don't remember. You have a Word document with your recommendations? Yeah, I don't. I don't have a Word document with your recommendations. I do not. I have some bookmarked tabs, but not all of your recommendations I've bookmarked. I've bookmarked, like, some things that I'm like, yeah, I might actually come back. The others, sometimes the others I'm like, I'm probably not. So I don't even bother. Well, clipping me is fine. Clipping me out of context for the purpose of it being funny is okay too. But if you clip me out of context for the purpose of for the purpose of making me look inflammatory or, like, hateful, and you're using it as a weapon to spread hatred, then that's no good. Generally, you can do anything to me that you want as long as it doesn't involve hate. That really is that's really it. It's a very simple thing, but it's also a thing that's, I don't see a lot of people articulating. Like, you can do whatever you want, really, just as long as it is not used. You don't weaponize it and use it as a tool of hatred against anyone else. Because I am many things, and I hate things. I'll talk about things I'll hate as well. But at the end of the day, I don't hate any one person. I don't hate people. I hate things. I hate concepts. I hate systems. I hate some structures. I hate some establishments. I hate some things, but I don't hate people. People are great, and I love people. So I don't want anything I do or any of the words I say to be twisted against the one we talked to interpreter. Oh, and then he asked like, is there, and he awkwardly asks, is there a translation for a slur? And the interpreter goes, oh, it's easy. And then he does like the slur in like a hand, like a sign. Yeah, that was a really funny joke. You're like that's true, but like in raising that example of a joke, you're right in that like maybe some jokes, maybe some comedy and humor really depend on certain specific use cases of words. I guess it's just not my comedy. Like my brand of comedy wouldn't be enhanced. I don't think I'd be funnier if I used to. I guess maybe is the way I'd say it. Like obviously the list of slurs I would be allowed to use, which is not very much. If at all, but you know. Like I think that's a fair point. And now I'm thinking about it again. Like, yeah, it's not that it's not funny. It's just that I don't think I would be funny. Doing a certain minus to instantly find a joke in these. No, I mean like now that you raise that, now that you raise that one joke, I am now in my head. I'm thinking about like 4 or 5 other jokes that I remember now. Like I'm sort of being brought back to that memory bank, and I'm going like, oh, actually, yeah, they have to use that word, that inflammatory, terrible word, for the joke to land, for the punchline to work. There's a rhythm to it. It sets up and it smacks you like it's like. It comes at you quick. Like the punchline has to do that, and in order to do that in such a way, the use of that word needs to be there. But the use of the word is not hateful. And that's why we can laugh at it. It's because it's ultimately like, well, a good joke, right? I don't know. Joke is good if both sides think it to be funny. As long as both parties laugh, it's good. What is considered good changes every few years in my experience. Yeah, which is why like comedy ages. Things age. Like nothing is immune to some things will age better than others, yeah, sure. But things will age, things will weather through time. There's no exception. Whether it is food or it's politics, things will age with time. And the passage of time will bring upon us new perspectives of them. Much time affects everything. There's no escape. First sentence is Hades 2. Second sentence is Hades 1. Sorry, I'm a little Hades brained right now. I'm a little obsessed with Hades, man. Maybe I'll stream. Nah, I don't have anything to stream it. I don't have any reason to stream Hades. Wrongly, I laugh at Kramer's racist rant just because of his time at Seinfeld. Well, what you're laughing at is not like because you think the racism in itself is funny. Because if you did, then it's sort of like that would be indicative of like a rather childish, maybe like teenage sense of humor where it's like, oh, it's taboo, so it's funny. That's why, right? Like that's not why you're laughing. I'm guessing. I'm guessing you're laughing because it's because it's juxtaposed with this. In which case you're laughing at that, right? At the tension between those two things. That's the thing that creates the humor, right? And terrible people can be hilarious as well. Terrible, awful people can be really funny, and they can say really funny shit, and they just are funny. That can happen as well. Look no further than notable, politicians. But also, like, even, like, comedians. For example, like, I wouldn't say that he's an awful, terrible, worst being on earth. But Louis C.K. is, like, he's not, like, a great person. Like, Louis C.K. is kind of He's just kind of like a shitty guy. To a lesser extent, Ricky Gervais is a very insecure, kind of unpleasant person as well. But I think both of them are pretty funny. Like, I do think their craft is there. I think they are hilarious to laugh at. Whether or not they deserve all their success as comedians, despite their shittiness, is a whole other discussion. That's a totally different discussion. Waiting for Hades 2 to come out on Switch, need Millennium and Chronos' Drama. I'm playing the beta on Steam, the open beta, and it's so good. At first, I thought it was kind of weird because I couldn't get used to the controls, and it was kind of weird it was kind of different from Hades 1. Since then, it's gone through a few changes, but it's still like fundamentally the combat style's a little different. But it's hard to believe Supergiant made the fucking masterpiece that is Hades 1, and then made a sequel that lives up to the hype. That's crazy. I can't even conceive of how they lived up, and they're not done yet. They're not done cooking yet. They haven't even cooked most of the story is not done. Most of the story is just like blank, right? Like right now they've ironed out the gameplay, I think, and like the structure of like the game itself and like the gameplay loop, but they haven't done any of the story, which is good because I don't want to get spoiled. But like, I can't believe that's how good it is. It's crazy. Good luck on dodging the spoilers because that's gonna be hard. Has anyone with Hulk Hogan phone call to his daughter, but imagine if that made the phone call and his wrestler get up. I don't know what you're referring to, sorry. I don't know I'm not familiar with wrestling lore. Apologies. Okay. I have to go now. I said I had to go like 20 minutes ago, and then you guys kept me in it. I'm imprisoned by my own thoughts in my head. Okay, I'm gonna go now. I will not be streaming on tomorrow, but I'll be streaming Thursday probably. I don't know what I'll be streaming. Maybe I'll stream Volcano Princess. Maybe I'll stream something else. And then I will also stream during the weekend. Yep. But I'm sorry, I still haven't decided what to stream. I'm super indecisive. I don't know what to stream. I'll probably do more Volcano Princess and more Terranil. But for the rest of the, or like, you know, for other things, if you really feel strongly about wanting to see me play something specifically, whether or not it is something I've played before on the stream, just shout at me on streams or shout at me on Discord. Please play this, play this, play this, play this. And then if you say it enough, I'll do it. Right, is the idea. You will be streaming tomorrow. Okay, you do what you want. I don't care. I'm not tuning into your live stream. I don't care. I don't care about your live stream. Whatever. All right. Goodbye. Imagine you stream Infinity Nikki a day before my exams. How about this, FCF? I will promise not to stream it before you finish all your exams. I don't know when that is, but I'll certainly not do it. Will I do it after? I don't know. Derma did play it. So. I heard that like there was also a controversy with Infinity Nikki, isn't that right? I don't know. Like how they just made the game worse through like. Anyways, like that it seems as though like that's my calling or the sign for me to. Weeks from now I should be done. Great. Now I know that in 3 weeks I shouldn't be streaming Infinity Nikki, but also 3 weeks later I won't be either because the game's probably still. Oh, start your icon. Oh. Okay. Goodbye. Bye, goodbye, goodbye.